Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to this second in-depth candle review of the day. I hope you are having a fantastic afternoon. In my first video today, which was a review of Kringle Reserve Pine Cone and Clove, I mentioned that I would only be sharing 2 additional candle reviews today. However, I found another reserve candle just kind of lingering in the background waiting to be reviewed. This one has been ready to be reviewed for at least a few days now, and for whatever reason I just keep pushing it to the back of the pile. So turns out you guys are going to actually see 4 in-depth reviews today. So yeah, stay tuned. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button right below this video here. That way all of my new content will pop up in your subscription feed as soon as it goes live here on my channel. Anyway, you guys, we're gonna dig into Cypress and Cinnamon, which is a new fragrance for holiday 2024. A link where you can get this in the description box. There will also be a discount code down there that will save you 15% off of your purchase at Kringle Candle. Okay, the scent description for Cypress and Cinnamon reads, bright, invigorating citrus highlights the verdant nuances of regal fir and resinous balsam tied with warm cinnamon essence. The top notes here are fir needle and spice. The mid notes are balsam and green, and then the base is wood and spice. I feel like this particular fragrance is one of those holiday or like Christmas time scents that the vast majority of people would probably really enjoy. I think this is a great kind of neutral holiday scent, if that makes sense. It's got a little bit something for everybody, I think. So let's start out with the top notes of the fir needle and the spice. So I feel like the fir needle in here just kind of comes across as your typical like fir tree. I also think there is a healthy dose of balsam in here as well. So the 2 tree notes that you are getting are pretty distinct, the fir and the balsam, but they both blend together really nicely and they smell very, very authentic in this particular candle. I've mentioned before that I think Kringle really excels at creating these holiday tree scents. Every candle company kind of has their area of specialty, and I really think personally for Kringle, their holiday tree scents are some of the most real smelling tree scents that I have ever come across. As someone who decorates with fake trees, I really look to candles to be able to bring that real tree smell into my house. And this candle here is no exception. The fir and the balsam smells super authentic and it's beautiful. The spice that's in here is not overly spicy, you guys. I don't know what my camera is doing right now, but it wants to focus on everything but the candle. Sorry if it's going blurry. I don't know what the deal is. The spice that's in here is not like, it's not overly spicy at all. I do think that I definitely smell some cinnamon in here. It is not the red hot cinnamon. It's more of like the bakery, like Ceylon type cinnamon for sure. I smell a little bit of nutmeg in here as well. But other than that, it's not an overly spicy scent, despite spice being mentioned both in the top and the base notes. It's not overly spicy. Just a little bit of that like cinnamon stick in the background, a little grating of nutmeg, and it's perfect. I do think that there is just a little bit of a green in here as well. It kind of smells, I don't want to say grassy. It's kind of interesting. Maybe it smells a little bit more like a leafy green. And I do smell, even though it is not really listed in the fragrance notes, there is a little bit of a citrus in here as well. It smells like a dried orange. It's a really nice touch in here. It's not too much. It's not overwhelming. It's just kind of that perfect pop of brightness in with those greens, in with that little bit of spice. This is done really well, you guys. This is a really pleasant fragrance. I've gotten a ton of compliments on this one when we've had guests over. It's just really pleasant. It's a very simple type of fragrance. It's impactful. And like I said, it's a great kind of neutral holiday scent. I can't imagine anyone disliking this one. Now, I always recommend trying out either the wax melts or the daylights if you are unsure about the Kringle candle fragrances. So that is the option here with this one as well. If you are just looking to kind of see what this smells like before committing to a large jar, definitely, like I said, go for the wax melts, go for the daylights. But for me, this is one where I would consider purchasing this even in a larger format. If this comes around in the 4-wick, either this year or next year, I would absolutely consider getting this in the 4-wick. I do think the strength and throw of this one is fairly decent. I would say it's kind of waffling between like a 7 and an 8. I think when I first started with it, it was maybe a little bit closer to an 8, and it's maybe, now that we're at the halfway point, settled at more of around a 7. But it is a noticeable fragrance. It travels somewhat far, surprisingly, for it only being between a 7 and an 8. I would put the throw at like a pretty solid, like, I would say between an 8 and a 9. So that means that this travels quite far. And I feel like I do have to be mindful about what else I'm burning alongside this. Luckily, it's a great neutral, so it goes fabulously with other citrus fragrances right now. It goes really well with other holiday tree scents. I burned this alongside Christmas, and this was fantastic with Christmas, as well as Christmas stroll. It's even nice with some gourmands as well. So listen, it's a very noticeable fragrance. It's very pleasant, very seasonal, and just really enjoyable. It's got good strength and throw, and I have had no burn issues with this, you guys. I'll go ahead and turn this around. I did just light this a couple of minutes ago. It has not fully pulled out, but let's go ahead and take a look at the side of the jar so that you can see what we're working with here. So no discoloration in the wax, really. You can kind of see the line of demarcation there where the wax pool typically you know, kind of settles at. It's a little, I would say, under an inch, but enough to where it certainly has no problem smelling up my spaces here. I burned this in a few different areas of the house, and it has done well in every place that I've put it. The wicks are nice and strong. I just trim off the little tiny mushroom tops that form on this one, and then I'm good to go. I think I'm most impressed by the fact that this is one of the few holiday candles where I don't have a lot of that soy wax clinging to the side of the jar. With a lot of my country candles, even with some of the Kringle candles in this classic jar here, I've noticed that a lot more of that soy wax seems to be sticking to the side. That's not the case with this one. You can see there's barely any wet. There's a little tiny bit that's stuck over here. But for the most part, this has been one of the like cleanest in terms of, you know, just the wax going down as the candle is burning. But listen, guys, there's no complaints here. This smells absolutely delicious. And in my eyes, this is a very classic, very just lovely holiday scent. If you are interested in this one, I'll have it linked down below. Definitely check it out. Like I said, we have a couple more in-depth reviews coming. So there is one more holiday fragrance from the classic jar line, and then we have one more reserve fragrance. So we're gonna plow through these today and finish them all up. Let me know if you have any questions about the cypress and cinnamon. I appreciate you guys being here, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.